Barnes Tidbit.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, welcome to the Barnes Tidbit. We are coming to you live. On what's this, Facebook, IG?
Yes, Facebook.
On Facebook. We're doing a Facebook Live. 'Cause we just wanted to talk about something. It's actually an experience that I had. So I have been going to a barber shop. It's very hard to find a barber, y'all know. So I've been going to a barber shop. Nobody at this barber shop, the barbers, is black. Okay, they are Asian, I think Guyanese, and then different types of Spanish as the barbers at this barber shop. So, and it's only a handful of black customers when I go. But when I sit in the chair, and get my hair cut, they toss around the N-word. Like they just let it flow. And now it threw me off at first. I'm like, do I need to say something? Like, what's happening right now? But I didn't know what to do. And so, I went back. I talked to a friend of mine, and the barbershop is in Jersey City. And I talked to a friend of mine about it. He is Puerto Rican, my friend. And he was like, yeah, like he grew up like that. Like he didn't personally use the word, but he's like a bunch of non-black people, that he grew up with would just throw it around. They feel like they have, I guess, they're entitled to it. They have the right or whatever. So like, and it really bothered me. I've gone back maybe like 3 times. And then this past time I decided, it's like, all right, I can't come back here.
Right.
Because I don't like it. It just didn't sit well.
And your barber, he's black or?
My barber is Guyanese, I believe. Yeah.
Do you think maybe like, are you guys close enough to be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you and, your colleagues, using the N-word or?
Right. I mean,
maybe
no, we're
text
not.
him
I've only been to the barbershop 3 times. And, I could say something. I know people that would have definitely said something. But it's like, I don't know. It's like...
Or you think they should already know better?
That's what I feel. I just feel like I don't understand. Which is why I'm putting it out there. I want to understand. Because to me, I feel like the rules are clear. If you're not black, you should, you know what I mean? But then, they obviously feel... I know people have said, they feel like they were raised around black people or whatever. They feel like they can use it.
Right.
But my thing is, not one of the barbers is black. Not one. The one that uses the most is an Asian guy. And he's like clearly Asian, and just throws around the N-word. And so I talked to my friend, and he's like, yeah, in Jersey City, that's kind of the culture. And then people feel like as long as you're not white, you can say the word. Hey, Markel.
Hey.
You missed the beginning, but I want your opinion. I know you're opinionated. I was telling a story. I've been going to this barbershop without black barbers. The barbers are like Asian, Guyanese, and then different types of Spanish. But they throw around the N-word, like in front of like a handful of black customers. And nobody has said anything. I've been back 3 times. This past time, I decided like I can't come back here because I'm uncomfortable with this. I don't like it. But the question I want to pose is like, what is the rule? Because I feel like people feel like as long as you're not white, you can say it or whatever. But in my opinion, what I've always believed, you're not black. Because I bet you if I ask those people, are they black, especially like the ones that are like Guyanese or different types of Spanish, they would more than likely deny being black. You know what I mean? But then how do you feel like you get the right to just throw around the N-word? Like in front of black people. And like every other word was
the audacity. What about like the owner? Do you know like who the owner is?
I don't know. See, what happened was the reason I even started going to this barbershop was because I had a black barber who I was going to, who I love. He upped and moved to Atlanta. And so when I asked him for a referral, he sent me here to this place. And then this has been happening. So, if y'all on here, put it in the chat. Like, I really want to know. I want to hear from black people. What's the rule? Like, you know what I mean? Can you say the N-word as long as you're not white? You know what I mean? Or I want to hear from, if anybody's brave enough, if you're not black and you use it and you're not white, What makes you feel like that's okay?
Yeah, you shouldn't use it.
Like, what makes that okay? And then we have there are like famous people who they bring up Cardi B and like Fat Joe. I know he said he's been raised around people.
But he claims he's black. He say he black, even though he's Puerto Rican. He say he's black, and I appreciate that because I know a lot of people that are Puerto Rican and they say they're black. My friend from church, she used to say I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm black.
Yeah,
you know. So I appreciate those who say I'm Puerto Rican, but at the same time I'm black.
And I know I have a very good friend, one of my best friends, Puerto Rican, and claims his blackness, but still won't use that word. Like he doesn't do it. I don't know. We got some. I heard my neighbor calling someone on the phone, and I believe he's from the Philippines. They might be Filipino. Yeah.
The thing about Filipinos, they are like I heard them say that they're like the black people of the Asian culture.
But you're not black.
But you're not. Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
They consider themselves the black people of the Asian culture.
It's not okay with me. We got you, Markel. We got you. Listen, man. I don't. Where did this come from? Like, I don't understand.
Not punch in the face.
Listen though, like they definitely will deal with some black people that will feel that way and that will carry that out.
Absolutely.
Like, cause what makes you think? And like I said, those will be the first ones to be like. And even like Dominicans and stuff. Like none of those barbers are Dominican, but I've met Dominicans that throw that word around. But then when you try to call them black.
Oh, I'm not black. Blah, blah, blah. Then don't use the N-word.
Yep. Janetta just popped on. What's up, Jay?
What up? Yeah, I don't think they should use the N-word. If you're not black, you shouldn't use it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not claiming your blackness. And most of them have problem with, Black Lives Matter, then no, you shouldn't.
Right. Why we gotta be silly? We talking about some real stuff. If you just joined us, I was telling a story about how I started going to this barbershop. Been about 3 times. None of the barbers are black. Okay? But they throw around the N-word. So we talking about, I think certain people feel like as long as they're not white, they can say it, because the barbers aren't white. They are Asian, different types of Spanish and Guyanese. And they throw around this N-word. And I mean, like, not just like every once in a while. I'm talking about every other word. Like, every other word. While they cutting like black folks' hair. And like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it could be ignorance. Like, I know, for me growing up, I know, not the N-word, but I know back in the day when we saw like a gay person, we used to say the F word. Right, I didn't know that was wrong to say until I came up here. Like, you know what? I'm not going to say that anymore because it's offensive, and I'm not going to say it like that. But I thought it was normal. So maybe they might, I grew up with black people. I hear them say it all the time. It's normal. But growing up, we didn't say the word gay. We said the F word because we thought that's what it was.
I think that's everybody, because we grew up in the 90s. Let's be for real. When it comes to that, it just became taboo.
Right.
Like within the past couple of years, you know what I mean? So that was an ignorance that we're all like, okay, now we're aware. Right. So if you know better, you do better.
Do better. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I get that. But I don't think that. I think that's a much older issue, the N-word, than you know what I mean? Like, no, you know better. And Carissa asked, are they calling each other? They call each other that. They'll watch like the TV and call other people that. But like, it's not. I could tell that they don't think it's a race thing because they call it. They just use it generally, call everybody that. But it's like they're not black. To me, the rule is very simple. It's very clear. Even like, I just feel like, especially in America, you have to just be aware of how you look and how you're perceived, because that's what people are all about. You know what I mean? There's black people that might not necessarily look black. I think sometimes you even got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? The rapper Logic. He's half black, but he looks so white. In the way he's perceived, in my mind, he should not be using the N-word. He looked like a white boy. Like, you just, That's just what it is to me.
That's funny you said that because, we do like the open mic and we have like Music Mondays and it's a rapper. He says the N-word. I'm not sure if he's mixed or whatever, but he used the N-word. And I refuse to post his stuff because he looks white and he's saying the N-word as soon as, his music come on. I'm like, I really don't want to post that because that's not our brand. That's not what we do. Right. And I really can't tell if you're like white or just mixed. Right. But he's using the N-word like up and down. I'm like, I can't really post this. I can't post this.
Yeah. Let me see. The problem is that the term has turned into part of casual language. Yeah, I agree, Michael. And that's how you can tell that's how they treat it. Like, you definitely don't think they mean anything by it, but it's not cool. Like, yeah. Black, and you try to convince me that. Yeah. It is attached to your race. Yeah. People don't. Yeah, they want to try to deny and make it casual.
Right.
And
you will get hurt on sight.
Yeah. My thing is just my ancestors went through a lot, and then there's people that they'll try to argue that black people shouldn't even use it, and I'm talking about non-black people. I personally feel that ain't none of y'all business. Let us handle that amongst us. Right.
And you don't use the ER. We use the A.
Yeah, and then even that, like, that's a whole nother, because people have issues with that. But the point I'm trying to make is that that's our issue to work out amongst us. Like, it don't have nothing to do with non-blacks. Like, the fact that we use it.
So you're saying we should only use it? Or we should work out our issues with using it.
Whether or not we use it is up to black people, is what I feel like. And we need to, work that out amongst ourselves. Because there's people believe that the word should just be abolished, period, or whatever. And then some people believe that only, we can say it. But I'm saying whatever that is, it's up to us. It's not a white person's issue, whether or not we use the word. Or non-black people's issue. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's our...
I mean, I use it, but, I try to use it, like, around my, black people. I'm not a mixed company. I'm not going to use it because then they get comfortable. Oh, she said it, so maybe I can do it. No, we're not going to play these games today. So, I try to use it, amongst us, like,
yeah.
But, yeah.
Definitely. And then, I'll throw it out jokingly sometimes, like you said, around others, the black folk, mainly just you. I don't even really use it around nobody else,
When we playing, I'm like, oh, this nigga get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
That's the only time I use it, when you get on my nerves.
You see that? My cousin, we personally don't think we should use it. Yeah, and then, like, as a performer and stuff, especially a comedian, I make a point never to use it on stage. I have one joke where I use it, but it's ironic. You got to hear the joke. But other than that, I don't use it. Like, that's not what, I want to represent. Like she said, it's not our brand. We're more of a family brand, you know what I mean, and the things that we do. So, we don't use it.
And I definitely don't say it around the kids. I pretty much, like, mumble if Eugene getting on my nerves. I'll be like, oh, this is getting on my nerves. But I don't, like, say it out loud. And I don't, say it in front of the kids. So, we try not to use it.
Yeah. So, man, we had to come to the live with this Barnes Tidbit. Because I really want feedback.
He came back upset. I was like, what's happening? Do I got to fight somebody?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't go back. I can't do it. And it's so hard to find good barbers.
I know. So what you want to do? That's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
That's why I even went back the three times I did. All
right. So we got a Jersey City, family, or Newark.
Yes.
Please, he needs a new barber. Somebody please put something down. Because we're not going to be out here in the streets looking crazy.
It's real out here, man.
Please.
Thank you, Carissa. Good time. It was really, really on my heart. Like, man, like what? Because it just bothered me. I just felt like the audacity. Like, why?
You're so
thank
comfortable.
you. She liked my haircut. Thank you, Carissa. It's hard out here. It's hard out here, man. But yeah, I just felt like why do y'all think this is okay? It really bothered me. Like, really, really bothered me. Like. And it was just casual. Nobody had a problem. Nobody dressed. And I just wondered how, I was sitting like across the room from like other black people getting their hair cut. I'm like, does this not bother y'all? Like,
Well, like your friend said, they grew up around it. You didn't grow up around that. So maybe they're used to Spanish and other people using the N-word, so they're used to it.
Yeah.
That's still not good, but they're used to them,
maybe.
like using the N-word.
Maybe. Because I was like, no. I don't like this at all.
Not today. Not
And
today.
but I mean, like, this... When I tell y'all this dude is Asian, like, he didn't look Filipino to me, because you could usually tell,
right?
Like you know what I mean?
Filipino, they're darker,
they're like slightly dark, yeah, and he looked like, I mean, Asian, like stereotypical Asian guy, and was just N-word. When I mean, and then just when I tell y'all like every other word, I mean every other word. Like, no, nigga, this nigga over here is being a nigga. Like, get this nigga away from me. Like, nigga. I said, oh my God.
Yeah, that's not
I can't.
Well, you're not going back, but I think maybe you should leave like a review or like.
And see, I'm gonna cut you off, but my issue with that, it was I personally feel like if I couldn't say anything in person, I shouldn't leave the review.
I believe in reviews.
But I almost feel like it's like, as a man, if I couldn't just say nothing to your face, then...
Or maybe a phone call, because at the same time, your barber is losing a client. You know, you call him like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with them using the N-word. And if this continues, I can't, come here anymore. You can tell him that.
I could tell him that, but then what I fear and what will more than likely happen is they'll stop using it around me. And not, you know what I mean? I don't even want to go in there knowing that or it was just happening before I walked in the door. You know what I mean? And then now I'm here and they stop. I mean,
that could be a respect issue, but that's just like, and if they're using like profanity and you have a child, like, hey, I don't want y'all, cursing around my, I think that's a respect, like, oh, he doesn't feel comfortable, so out of respect, I'm not going to use the N-word, or I'm not going to use profanity around this person's child. So
yeah, we got some. You don't have to be. That's Carissa. That's what Bernard just said, that I should say something to the barber, like personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long you been going there?
I've only been 3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
So yeah. So it's new, because I had a barber, black barber, like I said before, and he up and moved to Atlanta. So, I was stuck. So, and I asked him, could he recommend anybody? And he recommended this guy at this shop.
Michael said they're going to say the N-word as soon as you leave, right?
That's what I'm saying. And see, I don't even if I said something and they stopped in front of me, I know that would happen. I know that would go down. And that even makes me uncomfortable. Like that they stopped right before I walked in the door and they're going to do it as soon as I leave.
Right.
Like, to me, it's just the fact that that's happening. That's not cool. Like,
well, we're
in
search for a new barber, so.
Yes.
All right, well, that was our Barnes Tidbit live. I think I like live better.
Like live. I like the interaction.
Yeah.
I like the interaction.
So we need to start
we'll
doing
post this later. We could do that, right?
Yeah, we can post that and save it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like the interaction. So
yes. Carissa, Michael, Janetta, everybody that popped on. Thank y'all. We might do more live.
Barnes Tidbits. So yes, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Love y'all. So we out.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Love y'all. Bye.
Barnes Tidbit.